Think honestly. If you woke up tomorrow with nothing to do during the day, no work done, no goals achieved, no help to anyone, would you still feel valuable? For most people, the answer is no. And Wayne Dyer dedicated his entire career to explaining why this answer is the source of so much suffering. Dyer called it conditional value, the belief that you need to earn it to feel good about yourself. Do enough, achieve enough success, be productive enough. And the tragic part? The bar keeps rising. You achieve one goal, and your brain immediately sets a higher one. This is what Harvard psychologists call the hedonic treadmill, the cycle of success followed by emptiness, and then the need for more success. It never ends because the solution was never success. Dyer was blunt about it. You are born with value. A baby produces nothing. It contributes nothing to the economy. It can't have a conversation. And yet no one looks at a baby and says, "Prove yourself." This value didn't disappear as you grew up. It's buried under expectations, comparisons, and relentless performance pressure. What changes when you truly internalize this is, you stop making decisions out of desperation. You stop chasing things to fill a void. You start building on a foundation of wholeness rather than a sense of inadequacy. Success built on, "I am enough," is lasting. Success built on, "I must prove myself," will exhaust you. Try this. Today, do something simply because you enjoy it, not because it proves something about yourself. Just something. In the next section, we'll talk about the most important choice you make every day, and most people do it unconsciously. Part 2. Every decision you make originates from one of two sources. Consider a decision you made today. Going to work, saying yes to something, staying silent when you wanted to speak. Now ask yourself, and be honest, did you do this because you wanted to, or because you were afraid of what would happen if you didn't? Wayne Dyer taught that this question, love or fear, is the most important question you will ask. Dyer made this clear in his work. Every human action is ultimately motivated by one of two things, love or fear. Fear-based choices look like this. I stayed silent because they would judge me. I didn't apply because I would probably fail. I said yes even though I didn't want to because saying no felt dangerous. Love-based choices feel different. I did it because it was consistent with my identity. I spoke up because it was right. I said no because I respect my own boundaries. Fear diminishes you. Love expands you. Here's the uncomfortable part. As Dyer puts it bluntly, most people act on fear 80% of the time, and they don't even realize it. Fears are so familiar that they feel like common sense. Of course I'm careful. Of course I'm not taking risks. Of course I adjust myself to others. But adjusting, being mindful, shrinking, that's not living. That's managing. Dyer challenged viewers to do a brutally honest audit. How many of your daily choices are based on love, and how many on fear? The answer says it all about why your life feels this way. Today's challenge. Take 3 decisions you've recently made and label them, F fear, L love. Be ruthless with yourself, then comment below. What percentage of your life is currently based on fear? No judgment, just honesty. Real change starts here. Next up is the comparison trap and why Instagram is designed to make you feel like you're losing out. Third part. Why Instagram always makes you feel like you're losing. Your friend got a promotion. Someone else bought a house. Another is sharing their dream vacation. And you're sipping your coffee thinking, what am I doing? Wayne Dyer saw this trap long before social media existed. And what he said about comparison remains the most honest thing ever said on the subject. Dyer described comparison as the ego's favorite game, and there are no winners in this game. Here's how it works. You compare yourself to someone, you feel worthless, you try to catch up, to reach their level, and your ego immediately finds someone else to compare you to. This cycle repeats forever. Social psychologist Leon Festinger identified this pattern in 1954 and called it social comparison theory. People naturally compare themselves to others. But social media has turned this instinct into a weapon. Because you're not comparing your real life to someone else's real life. You're comparing the behind the scenes to their best moments. You see their best angle, their best lighting, their best moment, and you compare that to your average Tuesday. Nobody shares their anxiety at 2 a.m. No one shares their relationship fights. No one shares their rejections. Dyer's answer wasn't to stop looking at other people. His answer was to recognize your absolute uniqueness. Your fingerprint is different from every other fingerprint that has ever existed on Earth. This uniqueness isn't a metaphor, it's literally real. And one fingerprint cannot be compared to another and found to be lacking. They are simply different. You are a special miracle. To compare it to another special miracle is like asking if a sunset is better than a symphony. Here's my challenge. Over the next 24 hours, notice every time you compare yourself to someone else. Just notice, don't judge yourself. How many times has it happened? You'll probably be shocked. Subscribe and let's continue with the next episode. 5 minutes that will change your mornings forever. Chapter 4. 5 minutes of silence will change your life. I can't meditate, my mind is too busy. Wayne Dyer heard this sentence thousands of times. And his answer was always the same. That's exactly why you need it. A busy mind isn't an obstacle to meditation. A busy mind is the reason for meditation. For the last 30 years of his life, Dyer meditated every morning, usually for 2 hours. Now, before you leave here, he didn't start here. And he wasn't expecting you to start here either. In his book, Getting in the Gap, Dyer talked about what he called the gap, the space between thoughts. That little silence between the end of one thought and the beginning of another. According to him, this gap is where your true self lives. Meditation is the practice of visiting this gap more often. Harvard Medical School research confirms what Dyer intuitively understood. 8 weeks of regular meditation measurably shrinks the amygdala, the brain's center for stress and fear, while strengthening the prefrontal cortex, where clarity and decision-making processes occur. With 5 minutes a day, you're literally changing the structure of your brain. And you don't need an app, a pillow, or a mantra. You just need this. Sit down, close your eyes, breathe naturally, and when a thought comes, notice it and return to your breath. That's it, the thought will come back. That's normal. Return to your breath again. Each return is like a repetition, like a mental push-up. You're training the most important muscle you have. Now, close this video, close your eyes, and count 10 slow breaths. Do nothing else, then come back and comment. What happened in those 10 breaths? I will read every answer. Next topic. Wayne Dyer's non-intuitive perspective on your weaknesses that most people completely misunderstand. Chapter 5. Stop fixing your weaknesses. Do this instead. Throughout your life, school graded your worst grades. Your boss focused on what you did wrong. Performance reviews scrutinized your weaknesses. And somehow, you came to believe that fixing what was broken was the path to success. Wayne Dyer vehemently opposed this. Dyer's teaching here was based on both ancient wisdom and modern research. Ancient perspective. Nature never produces something and then demands that it become something else. A fish is not judged for not climbing a tree. An eagle is not judged by its ability to swim. Every living thing evolves as the most complete expression of what it actually is. Humans are the only species that systematically tries to become something they were not created to be. Research perspective. Gallup spent 30 years studying what makes people excel at what they do. Their findings were clear. People who use their natural strengths daily are 6 times more committed to their work and 3 times more likely to report having an excellent quality of life. Not people who fix their weaknesses. People who focus even more on their strengths. Dyer called this finding your genius zone, the intersection of what you love, what comes naturally to you, and what the world needs. There was a single diagnostic question. What activity makes you realize how time flies? What are you doing when you look up and realize 3 hours have passed and it feels like 20 minutes? That feeling is a clue. Your genius side is pointing you in. Follow it. Write down 3 things that make you realize how time flies for you. Share one in the comments. You might help someone else notice a way they haven't seen before. This video's final lesson. Wayne Dyer's least valued lesson about the story you tell yourself. It will challenge you. Chapter 6. My past is too heavy. I had no advantages. This happened to me and I can't change it. These may be entirely true. And Wayne Dyer's response wasn't to deny them, but to show why they didn't have to be the final chapter. Dyer's own life is the most compelling argument for this lesson. He was abandoned by his father. He grew up in foster care. He had no silver spoon, no connections, no safety net. By any external measure, he had every reason to be stuck. Instead, he became one of the most widely read authors in American history and a staple of national television for 30 years. In his book, No More Excuses, one of his most direct and powerful works, Dyer exposed the pattern he saw in almost every person he counseled: the victim narrative. Not because people are weak, but because the brain is programmed to find reasons why things didn't go right. I'm too old. I'm too tired, I'm too broke, my childhood was too hard. These sound real. They're actually stories. The difference between reality and story. Reality is what happened. Story is the meaning you assign to what happened. And meaning, unlike the event itself, is something you can change. Psychologists call this locus of control. People with an internal locus of control, those who believe their reactions shape their lives, consistently outperform those with an external locus of control in areas such as health, relationships, and success. Dyer taught this long before research caught up. You are not what happens to you. You are how you choose to react to what happens to you. Write this sentence. I can't succeed because ... Honestly, fill in the blank. Now write this. But I can start with ... The second sentence is the writer's speech. Share the second sentence in the comments. This is the real you. Stage 3 begins in the next video, and it's about the most powerful concept Wayne Dyer has ever taught. Please share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. You're valuable.